Hey guys, and welcome back to Granted Gardens. My name is Melissa, and today I want to talk about how to grow your own food indoors. If you guys follow our channel, you know that we have quite a few different setups for where we start our seeds and grow some of our plants. But I wanted to today just give you a quick glance around some of the small stuff that I keep upstairs that I use to grow some of the food that we can use every single day. So right here behind me is our small greenhouse. This was the first greenhouse that we used to start our seeds with. We've since upgraded to something larger in the basement. So this one we typically use for some of my stuff. I had a lot of lettuce going in here recently, which I picked from, but I still have some down here that I'll show you. And then any of the larger plants that just don't fit downstairs anymore, we're kind of moving up to this area. This is also my office, so it gets a decent amount of sunlight, just natural light that comes through the window and through the large sliding glass door. But I just wanted to show you here some of the stuff that I've got that we can pick from and we eat from on a pretty regular basis. Down here we have my last lettuce plant, which we're going to pull him and pick from him today. And then up here we have some garlic going and some ginger going, getting started. And then we have my spinach plant, which we're probably going to pick from him just a little bit today too. Now it's important not to totally rule out anything other than lettuce greens. Something else that we have growing in our house that has self-produced, it does not require pollination, it self-pollinates, are peas. So we had a couple of the dwarf peas that we had gotten from a seed swap, and we planted them, and they've been producing for us just right here in our big window. I'll show you what they look like. So here we have about 4 little dwarf pea plants, and they shouldn't get really much bigger than this, I would say. I think Tyler said they were about 8 inches tall because they are the dwarf. But we went ahead and we just put them all in this little pot here. Well, it's a medium-sized pot, I'd say. And then I did give them this trellis to grow up if they decided that they wanted to get any taller. You can see they're kind of grabbing on to the trellis here, so they seem to like it. But if you take a peek, we are getting peas. So this is something that you can grow inside your house, just in a sunny place, and you can go ahead and pick from this whenever the peas get large enough. So this is something very easy that you can grow food from inside your house. There's really nothing like being able to grow your own food and have fresh food year-round. I love peas. So delicious. There are some setbacks to growing things inside your house though. One of the setbacks is access to light. So as you saw in our small greenhouse, we don't have the best lighting setup there. That's why we did update our growing station, because it just wasn't enough to give the seeds or the starts enough light to really grow big and healthy. But we found that maybe with some of the larger plants that are already well established, they do okay in there. As far as lettuce goes, the lettuce I've decided just doesn't get enough light in that small greenhouse, and I'll show you how you can tell. So here's my lettuce plant from inside the small greenhouse. I grew this lettuce last year, but we did it outside in the summer, and it did so awesome. It got huge. All of the leaves were really sturdy. Here you can see they're kind of wilty. That might have something to do with the fact that they're probably thirsty. I haven't watered them in a while because I figured I was going to pick them today. Plus the fact that they are kind of starting to bolt. You can tell that they're kind of starting to shoot up and bunch together. So that's why I just decided I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick all of this lettuce for right now. I'm not worried about not having enough lettuce. We have a ton of lettuce seeds that I saved from our lettuce plants last year after they did bolt. So I'll have plenty to be able to do this over and over and over again. The reason why I started these though, I started these probably back in February, maybe January, February, was because I did want to give a shot of growing lettuce inside so that we had some kind of fresh vegetables to eat until we could plant our garden. Obviously, with the way that things are right now in the world, it is getting harder and harder to find the amounts of food that you may have purchased before or the types of food that you wanted. We're getting to a point where you can't just go to a grocery store and pick up whatever you want. So it's kind of nice to be able to produce stuff from home and to have plants that are continuously growing, continuously producing, and that you can just go and pick from whenever you need. I mentioned that my lettuce is starting to bolt. The reason why I'm going to go ahead and just eat all of this now or cut it up right now is because once lettuce starts to bolt, or once it starts to go to seed, it'll shoot up, it'll get really, really tall in the center, and then it'll put off little flowers that eventually will dry out and turn to seed. But once that happens, once that shoot starts to go up, your lettuce leaves start to get really bitter, so they don't taste as good. So you can see how at the bottom, the leaves are large, they're big. They also usually will be much darker than this, but as I mentioned, light was an issue. But as you kind of get closer to the top here, you can see that they're having much smaller leaves that are much more bunched together. That's how you can tell that they're starting to bolt. So they're not quite as bushy anymore, and they shoot up this thick stalk here in the center, and they start to bush together their leaves. Eventually flowers will come out of there. This can happen at random times throughout your life cycle of your lettuce. I think right now it's bolting just because it's in the house. It's so much warmer. So once the temperatures are really, really warm, the plant tends to bolt. It'll also vary depending on the types of lettuce that you have. It's no big deal, but once it does happen, it doesn't taste as well to eat your lettuce, so it kind of ends the cycle of your lettuce plant. However, it is worth letting at least a couple of your plants go so that you can collect seeds to start the process all over again. Growing lettuce is super easy. Collecting seeds is even easier. When you're going to harvest your lettuce, you want to pull off your leaf at the base. So you want to have your whole leaf. You don't necessarily want to pick off this stem because this stem here isn't going to be very good to chew on. So you want to find the leaf and just pick it off. You can pinch it with your fingernail and get the entire leaf off of the stalk. Now you may come across some leaves that are damaged or maybe dying. This whole piece is not wasted. You do not have to throw this whole piece out. You just simply pick off the parts that are no good. We're going to wash these afterwards, so you can just go ahead and pick off that top part, but the rest of it is still good. If you wanted to keep your lettuce going, you would just go ahead and pick off just a few leaves, kind of like how I did now. You pick off just enough for what you're going to eat, not any extra. You want to make sure that you leave enough leaves on the plant for them to be able to continue to grow and to reproduce. All right, so here is my spinach plants. It looks like we got about 4 here in this little pot. They aren't the sturdiest things down here. They look like, you know, they could probably be a little bit more comfortable, but they're still producing, so that's a good thing for me. So I'm happy as long as I can come in here, and I don't want to pick off all of the leaves because I do want to let these continue to grow. I have this salad spinner here from OXO, and this one's really nice. It's a stainless steel one. I did used to have one that was completely plastic, but the little bowl broke on me, so this one's a little better. Essentially, what a salad spinner is it has some sections inside here where you can go ahead, you can rinse your lettuce underwater. So you pick your lettuce, rinse it, put it inside of this bowl where it has this separate mesh here. So you'll go ahead, you'll put the lettuce inside of the bowl, And then the salad spinner spins it so that it gets all of the excess water off of your lettuce, so you're not eating soup, you're actually eating just your salad. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make myself lunch. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video, and remember, it's really simple. There's a lot of things that you can grow from inside your house so that you can continue to have fresh food all year round. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to sharing more with you soon.